Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sketchcast. I'm Crypticink, and today I have a very special episode for you. This is a sketchbook that I have been working on forever, and it's more of a sketchbook than the last ones that I've been working on, in that it's more loose and there's a lot of ideas. Since this is a big sketchbook, as I'm talking, I'm just going to start right now and flip through it while I talk to you guys about how I just put this thing together and why it is the way it is. On the first page here, there's just a really nice note from a friend of mine. It's just really sweet and it's very inspiring. I really do cherish it, so I put it in my sketchbook. And here is a quote by one of my favorite YouTubers, Will Terrell. I can't even say his name right, and he's my favorite YouTuber, but Will Terrell, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of him, but if you haven't, go check out his channel because he has some really great content about art and drawing and illustration. But one of my favorite quotes from one of his shows was, "Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it." And that was also very inspiring to me, so I decided to just put it in my sketchbook. And these here are just some doodles some old friends of mine drew in the front just because. So when I put together this sketchbook, there were a lot of loose pages, and you can tell as I go through it that most of the stuff is taped in, and that is mainly because I have a lot of sketchbooks that are just falling apart, and there were a lot of sketches and pictures that I wanted to hang on to because I felt like I could work from them later or build upon the ideas at a later point in time. And I do have a fondness for old doodles and old ideas. It's hard for me to let sketchbooks go, which is why I have so many. But these right here are old prints that I made when I was on DeviantArt and doing a lot of digital painting. This is from League of Legends, and this was an original character portrait that I did. This was when I got really into white gel pens and brown paper drawings. I had a lot of fun with them. Here's a picture of an Instagrammer artist. Here's his username right there, and I just printed that out because I thought it was really cool. Like I said, a lot of these are actually really, really old. I think the oldest picture in here is from 2014. A lot of them are from when I was in tech school or when I was at my old job. For instance, this was a drawing I did for the shop I used to work at. And here's some robot doodles, well, not really doodles, but drawings for March of Robots that I did one time. Never finished it. I just have an issue with challenges, apparently. A perspective homework that I did when I first started going to art school, and I had a lot of fun with it. I don't think I put as much time into things as I did as far as homework goes anymore, because instead of taking 2 classes at a time, I'm just taking 1. This right here is the only page in this entire sketchbook, I think, where I spent a lot of time and just finished it. And I don't think finishing pictures in sketchbooks is pointless. I think you get practice either way. My intent is not to sell every single thing that I draw or print out every single thing that I draw. So if I have fun doing it in a sketchbook, I'm not going to stop until I feel like stopping. But I really like this sketchbook because there's a lot of energy in it, and I feel like it has, out of all the ones that I'm currently working on, it has the most energy and looseness in it as far as getting ideas down and drawing new characters over and over again and experimenting. This was like a safe place for me in the sketchbook where I could just go and not feel like I had to show everybody, even though I'm showing you guys now. As I worked on it, I didn't have to show anybody or feel obligated to put my best work in here. I just could be as loose as possible. These pages that you've been seeing right here are from 24-hour comic day. Whoops, a couple years ago. I only had one more page to go, and I fell asleep. I was knocked out. I was so hopped up on coffee and energy drinks. I was wired for like the next 3 days. 24-hour comic day is tough, I think, and anyone who can successfully finish it, props to you, because that takes a lot of dedication. This one's from 2014, and I don't even know where I was going with it. I think as I've been in school, it's kind of unfortunate because I don't feel like I have as much time to do crazy sketches like this. Most of the time that I'm drawing now, it's for school projects or to just wind down. I still try to draw every day, and I do most days get a sketch in, but nothing as crazy as, you know, what I feel like is in here. But that's just all about time and managing it and spending a lot of effort, well, as much as I can, on projects for 5 different classes at a time. But I really enjoyed putting together this sketchbook and drawing in this sketchbook and getting my ideas down. It is definitely just a collage of ideas, and I feel like there are different styles in here, and I appreciate having them all in one place. I'm kind of glad that I didn't throw some of these sketches away because there are characters and notes in here that I definitely want to use later in the future. Here's another attempt at March of Robots. I guess 4 days was my limit or something. But yeah, I don't even know what this mount is supposed to be, like a weird chocobo or grasshopper riding a bird thing. Here are some ink illustrations. This is one version of 2. I think the other one is in a later page or something. Another thing I like about loose sketchbooks like this is that I can use different mediums, and of course you can do that with any sketchbook, but I really went ahead with the intent in each of these sketchbooks that make up this one big one to use a different medium and to use ink and pencil and paint and markers and stuff like that. I'm always trying to keep my horizons broad as far as style and techniques go with different mediums, because I personally don't like to feel tied down to just one style. I want to draw whatever I want to draw at this point of my life, and I'm really enjoying it. These sketches on these next couple pages are from a life drawing class I had a couple quarters ago, and excuse me, and they are portraits from an assignment where we had to do, I think, 20 or so speed portraits and draw them as fast and as accurately as we could. And I found, obviously, that as I went along, and I got better and better and faster at doing them, and a little more accurate. I was practicing from portraits on Pinterest. And we're getting back to some weird characters and doodles. It's a big brain dump. This one's in a video. That was the portrait gouache practice. Here's a creature guy that I want to work on a little more. And he actually has a couple more sketches a little further on in the book, but he could use some more attention and love. Here's that second version of the previous drawing. I was trying to find a different way to color it without making it look so messy. I like this face. I practice a lot of hands, and I think that it is very, very good practice to do that in a sketchbook over and over and over again, as you know, I kind of try and do here, just doing hands over and over and over again. And when I do them on my own without reference, they don't look nearly as detailed, but I can say that it has helped me remember how to draw the hand a little more accurately on my own. Some studies I did from an anatomy book. Here's my guy, creature, his name is Gideon, and he recurs in a few of my sketchbooks. This is a painting I want to do one day. I think I'm just going to redraw this guy on Bristol board and try my hand at gouache. With this one, I think it could turn out really cool. I did a couple pig samurais, and this was a sketch for an oil painting that I'm still working on. I think of anything that any medium that I've used before, oil paints have been the hardest for me, and I don't know why. There's so much time that you can spend with oils and you can blend with them so well, but I think having all that time and having the option to come back later has really allowed me to procrastinate when it comes to painting in oils. Also, oil paints are a little more expensive than the gouache and watercolor paints that I've purchased over the years. There's not much here. I think further towards the end of the sketchbook, I get more into figure drawings because I ran out of paper on this really large pad that I was using for my life drawing class. So I decided to use the biggest sketchbook I could find. Here's some ink drawings that I couldn't sell on my shop, but I still like them, so I decided to keep them around. Stuck them in here just to have them. This is homework that I did for my 2D animation class fairly recently. We had to do a lip sync. This is for my character design class. No, it's for my language of animation class. It was like the history of animation, but basically we had to choose an animator and draw in a style. If you've ever seen movies like Secret of Nim or anything like that, this is based on Don Bluth's style, who I think has an amazing style, and I love the animations that he's worked on. So here we get into some studies, drawing portraits of classmates. This was my favorite one because this guy had like a really cool beard. Some more 2D animation homework. I think 2D animation has been my favorite class so far. It's a shame that most of my classes are in 3D animation. Like this page was done for the pendulum practice, and I was just mapping out the path that the pendulum would take and stuff like that. But it's a shame that most of my classes are in 3D because I really prefer to do the hand-drawn animation, or at least animating in Flash. I just like to be hands-on, and 3D is creative in its own way, but to me it's not as organic in my eyes as drawing by hand. But I'm learning to love it. I don't think school has completely taken away my time and ability to continue drawing as much as I can. It's taken away some of that time and some of that motivation and energy, but there are days when I can definitely push past it and feel like drawing is more important to me than wallowing about how I don't have as much time as I used to. But it can definitely be hard. Right now I'm just remembering to appreciate, you know, what time I do have to draw and remembering to manage my time a lot better. I feel like I talk about time management a lot on my channel when it comes to making time to draw, but it's really important, and I think having multiple sketchbooks at a time helps me to not feel stuck in a rut. Like if I feel stuck or if I feel like I don't have time, I'll like switch to another sketchbook for whatever reason. It's just me, but I'll switch to another sketchbook and feel like I have a fresh start and a fresh set of eyes, and I can just start drawing again when the time comes. So we're getting more towards the end of this sketchbook. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. I know I don't upload a lot of sketchbooks, but they do take time, and I honestly, because I work on a couple at a time, I don't finish them as quickly as I'd like to. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments in the comment section below if you have any questions about supplies or anything, and I will be there. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.